Like, I was at the beach trying to read it after, like, a long day, and I thought I was just tired. Like, that's what I thought I was at first.
Yeah.
And then I got home, kept reading, realized it wasn't me, that I was just bored.
Yeah. Hello! Welcome to Fizz and Fiction. I'm Kristen.
And I'm Spencer, and we're here to talk to you about fiction. Yep, there we go. I was going to say fizz, but we're not talking to you about fizz, because we're just drinking some Starbucks.
Cheers.
Cheers.
What are you drinking? What's your Starbucks order?
Ooh. Starbucks order is a grande iced chai tea latte with almond milk. And, I don't really even do the almond milk thing because I don't like dairy.
Allergic, but
but I love it like makes it feel more fall. If you haven't tried,
Really?
yes.
Oh.
Because I'll drink it with regular milk. Like one time they made it different by accident, and I was like, oh, I'll drink it anyway. But it feels more fall with almond milk.
Well, I will say, like, I like chai tea lattes too, but I feel like they're not mostly milk, but there's a lot of milk in it.
Oh yeah.
So like the kind of milk you're getting actually can change the flavor.
Absolutely, because when I drank one that time, I didn't even realize they made it wrong, and I drank it, and it was startling with just regular milk. I was just like, it's almost
Shock to the system.
It's sweeter with regular milk.
Really?
Yeah, which is weird, but it's like the taste is more. I don't know. I like it more with almond milk.
I've had it with oat milk too, and oat milk's pretty good. You don't like oat milk?
I don't know that I've ever had oat milk.
Really?
Yeah, I don't like. I haven't had.
I love oat milk, but I've also read that it's not. I feel like I read that everything's bad for you at one point or another.
Yeah.
Like almond milk's bad for you, oat milk's bad for you, cow's milk's bad for you. I'm like,
what kind of milk should I drink?
I don't understand what to do now.
No milk.
But this is oat milk, and I think I think you'd like oat milk.
Your Starbucks order?
I usually get it's such a long name. I literally have to like remember what it is. I get an iced brown sugar oat milk shaken espresso.
I'm so glad that that's like an actual item on the menu.
So you can read it off.
Yeah, so I can like hit it on like a mobile order. I'm like, yeah, this is
yes, yeah. No, I always have to like find out the menu when I like say it to barista. And like, they probably know what I'm talking about. This like my first half through it, but they let me finish saying it.
Have you seen that thing where it's like the wife in the husband's car, like when he puts down his like rear view or something. And
do you have her order on it?
It's like a piece of paper, and he's like, if you ever want to make sure that your husband or boyfriend always gets your Starbucks order right, and he pulls down the paper, and it's literally like in a huge text and says, can I get a ice something with this, in like the right order? It's so funny.
That's so smart, but I thought it was actually him doing that. I was like, oh, that's so cute, but it's her.
Oh yeah, it's absolutely her. I mean, like, kudos if it is him, but
yeah, but he's the one buying it, I guess. So like either way.
True.
But yeah, love a good Starbucks. Thanks for grabbing it.
Yep.
And we're chilling them.
Oh yeah, Java sock.
Java sock.
Yeah, I was targeted on Instagram.
Were you really?
Absolutely. This came up in an ad, and I get so many ads that are like stuff that just seems ridiculous, like that I would never use, kind of thing. Like I get a lot of dog stuff.
For Vader. Yeah.
I'm like, why do I need this coaster that has my dog's face on it? But this, I was like, I use this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I keep it in my car, like, honestly, and it like has come in handy.
Yeah. When I ordered these, I got a free like mystery one.
What was your mystery one?
It's camo. It's a huge one though, because they have them in different sizes, and like the one that came in camo is like one that I would put like a really big like Chick-fil-A drink in.
Oh.
Yeah, like a 32 ounce kind of one, but it's huge.
It's
camo. It's funny. So I like my Daisy one.
Yeah, that's cute. Spencer got me this one.
Yeah.
For my birthday. Very cute. Well, with that out of the way, what are we here to talk about today?
We're here to talk about our book club book of the month, which was Spinning Silver.
And I will say, so we went to a silent book club.
Oh yeah.
In Roswell, Georgia, and one of the girls, they were super nice. They were like walking around, just like chatting with everyone.
What are you reading?
Before like the silent part started, obviously.
Yeah.
And she was reading not this book, but the other book by Naomi Novik, Uprooted. And I had heard of this on Book Talk actually. Like it's been on there before because it's like a New York Times bestseller, like actual like 100 Notable Books of 2018 or whatever.
Yeah.
So we were
acclaimed.
So we were there for book club 2, and we decided to like go ahead and read this one because it's like a standalone fantasy, which is very uncommon.
Yeah, we were all reading fantasy, I think, and she was like, "Oh, have you read this?" And we were like,
"No." So we picked it up. And now we're going to talk about it. Spencer has some strong opinions.
Yes. Well, first, just you want to read the book jacket?
Oh, yeah.
That's good for a little book overview.
I can't say their names right. I think it's Miriam.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's Miriam.
Miriam is the daughter and granddaughter of moneylenders, but her father's inability to collect his debts has left the family on the edge of poverty until Miriam takes matters into her own hands. Hardening her heart, the young woman sets out to claim what is owed and soon gains a reputation for being able to turn silver into gold. When an ill-advised boast draws the attention of the king of the Starrick, I think that's how I say it too.
Yeah.
Grim fey creatures who seem more ice than flesh, Miriam's fate and that of 2 kingdoms will be forever altered. She will face an impossible challenge and, along with 2 unlikely allies, uncover a secret that threatens to consume the land of humans and Starrick alike. From the Nebula Award-winning author of Uprooted comes a new, beautifully woven fairy tale in which the boundary between wonder and terror is thinner than a breath. That makes it sound cool.
And to be fair, I didn't read the book jacket before.
Oh, you don't usually.
I don't read book jackets. So I just go on blind recommendation.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so before we get into it, rating.
Okay, in the end, I actually would give it a 4, probably a 3.75 if I was doing your fraction system.
Yeah.
But I did like it in the end.
Yeah, I gave it a 3. I gave it a 3. Didn't even give them my fractions. I just gave it. Well, because I stopped reading it on my Kindle and it popped up rate this on Goodreads or whatever. And it doesn't do the fractions. So
what is the rating on Goodreads? Did you notice?
No, because I don't think it tells me on my Kindle on my Kindle app. But let's look. Because I'm curious.
I'm curious.
It's probably 5.
And we have our friend Sarah, who's also in our book club, is enjoying it, and then we have our friend Laura, who's semi in our book club, and she's also enjoying it.
It's a 4.25.
That's pretty high for Goodreads.
That is. Oh, 4.20. Yeah.
Yeah. Your rating 3. Okay, so spoiler-free thoughts. I feel like, for me, I started listening to it on audiobook because our friend Laura said that she really liked the audiobook.
Yeah.
So I do think that helped me get into it a little bit easier. The person narrating the audiobook is telling it more like a...
I liked her accent when I flipped over.
Yeah, I think I read the author's... What is she?
Is she the narrator?
No, but I think that it's meant to be from her heritage,
that makes sense.
That's about the typeface. Okay, thank you, book. Not Polish. She's Polish fairy tale. So I think that
you know what fairy tales come from over there.
Yeah, so I think that she's meant to have that kind of. So I think it helped me get into the book a lot, hearing it. But the first half is really slow. The first half is very slow.
It's so slow.
It's very slow, and I will 100% cop to that.
It's so slow. I thought it was me. I was at the beach trying to read it after a long day, and I thought I was just tired. That's what I thought I was at first.
Yeah.
And then I got home, kept reading, realized it wasn't me, that I was just bored.
Yeah.
That I was just extremely bored.
Because the very beginning, it is a lot of just a setup.
Yeah. It's not even world building.
It's not, because the world is just the world.
Yeah.
They mention the town once, and then it's you're in the town.
Yeah, you're here.
Poor town.
Yeah. And okay.
But I do think the end of it, by the end of it, I was involved in the storylines.
Yeah.
And was happy to see where it went. So
that's fair.
So if you want to give it a try, that's your...
If you haven't given it a try, leave.
Yes.
Come back.
Because we're getting to spoilers.
And maybe you want to read it after that glowing initial review that I just gave. But come back, because now we're getting into spoilers.
Yes.
Okay, so let's get into it.
Okay.
Yeah, so at first, I didn't like anybody. Not that I didn't like anybody. I didn't care.
You didn't care about anybody.
I didn't care about anybody.
No.
I didn't really start to pique interest until, what's her name? Irina put on the necklace and stuff, and
things started to have
yeah,
the fairy silver came into play.
Yeah,
I would agree with that. That's probably when I started getting.
That's when I was okay, this is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Everything before that, I was oh my god. if I have to, like, hear about Wanda walking it back and forth, or, like, her going to collect, and, like, all this kind of stuff, like, with the moneylender stuff, I was so, and I, like, it made sense in the end, because it's like, okay, she's, you know, turning, that's why he came and got her, or whatever, but.
Yeah.
I just.
Spinning silver.
Yeah. It was so. I don't know what the, like, word for it is. It was so. I was telling you that a lot of the books that I read are so dialogue heavy, and this wasn't, and I think it was just like such a stark contrast where I'm just like, all this intrusive thought, and I'm just like, oh my god, I get it. You're collecting money, I get it. But yeah, when the silver started to come into play, that's when I was like, okay, this is interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because she, like, Miriam at the beginning was kind of like, you're also not really likable. Like, I appreciate that her dad was bad at his job. And, like, I felt bad for the dad.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that, like, her grandpa was, like, so proud of her. But she was just kind of like we talked about her heart, like, cold, like, making her heart cold.
Yeah. They talk about that a lot.
And I don't really understand why no one liked that she was doing it. Because I'm like, she was getting you money. Like, you all should at least be appreciative. I kind of, like, wasn't right about that.
They were like angry she was doing her job. Yeah. Like, oh, you were going to come get the money back that, like, you gave me?
That blew my mind, too. They were all like, how dare you?
Yeah.
Like, it's winter. It's like, yeah, we're hungry, too.
Yeah, and they used to, like, laugh at them, basically.
Yes.
Yeah.
Such a bad
I was like, screw all those town people.
Oh, I didn't feel bad for the townspeople at all. She didn't collect. I was like,
heck no. Or Wanda's dad. I was like...
Wanda's dad was horrible.
He sucked.
He sucked so hard. I'm like, he deserved to die. Sorry.
Yeah. And at first, she kind of, like, doesn't really like her brothers.
That was an interesting, intrusive thought for her, too. Yeah.
It's like, they don't do anything for me. They don't try to help me.
And they're just more mouths to feed.
Yeah. It was interesting.
And they made Mama weak. And I was like, damn.
Yeah. And I think... And then I didn't really understand, and this is, like, throughout the whole book, I thought it was very weird how they forgot the Stark.
Yeah, like, part of its magic was almost like...
Yeah, but I'm like, how do you...
hold on to that memory?
It was so interesting to me because they would forget and basically have to, like, remind themselves. Mm-hmm. But I thought that was strange because they had this, like, animosity towards them because they, like, pillage and plunder in the winter. But I'm like, how do you even remember?
I think they remember the Stark as a whole.
Yeah, just not, maybe not
but
specific.
Not the interactions.
So, I found that weird.
Yeah.
I was like, why do y'all have so much hate for these people that you barely remember even seeing his, like, footsteps there? I was just like, I just couldn't. That kind of, like, I was like, what is this? It kind of annoyed me. Because her mom kept forgetting. Yeah. And I was like...
And her mom would forget. When Mary went away, she'd forget her.
Yeah.
Who she was.
Yeah. And I thought that was so weird. I'm like, how do y'all hate the Stark when you forget them? Obviously. Yeah. It was weird. I thought that was weird. But
they brought, like, an internal winter almost.
Yeah.
Oh, that was wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I feel like it got interesting when we started to get the Stark silver and making it into jewelry for Irina. Mm-hmm. Irina's dad sucked also. Everyone's parents were awful except Miriam's.
Yeah, and they were just kind of dumb.
And they were just kind of like, bad
yeah, like her
adults.
dad.
They're just bad adults.
Yeah, they were bad. He was like, I'm a moneylender, but I don't want to go collect money. His wife is dying. His wife is on death's door.
They're having, like, potato soup.
Yeah, and he's like, oh, I can't do anything about it. And Miriam's like, I guess I'll go do something about it. It was wild.
It was.
Yeah, the parents were not great.
No.
So I switched over to audiobook, which did help.
Yeah.
It was so long. But the voice that she used for that fire demon creeped me out so much. It was so creepy. She just, like, went to that whisper and that, like, it reminded me of, it reminded me, I don't know if you're gonna, like, remember this or have watched this movie, but have you ever seen the Care Bears movie?
Oh, I think I have.
Where there's, like, this, like, witch kind of person, like, in I think she's in a mirror in a fire or something, and she has, like, a very, like, and that's, like, the little boy that's blonde that she's trying to possess. This is the Care Bears.
A children's movie.
If I went back and watched that, I'd be like, this is deep. But yeah, his name's Nicholas in the movie. And it's just like this, I can't remember if she was a spirit, if she was a witch or whatever, but it was this creepy voice and it took me back there. And I was like, ooh, it creeped me out. But yeah, the voice narrator was
she was really good. Yeah.
But yeah, I think favorite character. Favorite character.
Favorite character.
It was for me for like that middle part of the book.
Yeah.
It was Arena.
Yeah, until like
I didn't like her in the end.
No, I didn't either.
I was like, "Damn, girl, you ruthless."
she did a 180 at the end.
Yes, I didn't care for that.
But I did like her the most in the middle because I didn't really like Wanda. I never liked Wanda really. She was kind of like
she's boring as hell.
I felt bad for her.
Oh yeah, I felt sympathy for her,
but I didn't like her.
No, I didn't like her towards the end. I thought it was interesting in the part where they come for the wedding, and it's told in the youngest son's.
I like the youngest son
point of view.
Yeah.
I was like, this is interesting because he's like unbiased.
Yeah,
he's like, I really don't know any of these people. This is just what's happening.
I'm just following everyone around.
Yeah, but I didn't like Wanda throughout the whole book. Really, I didn't really care for her.
Yeah,
and I really didn't like her in that scene because. All these people are like running away, and her brother, who's like telling us from his point of view, he's like, I can't leave because Wanda is not leaving.
Oh,
I'm like, Wanda, get your brothers out. These two like
she doesn't care. She doesn't really care about her brothers.
These demons and like the Stark King are like in a brawl, and they're just and she's
and the poor brother. Okay, the brother must have like some kind of like sensory issues, like the beeswax thing.
Oh yeah,
his ears. Like, and yeah, he was like kind of freaking out at the whole thing. And yeah, I don't think that she really cared that much.
Yeah, she was not my favorite. Least favorite character. Ooh.
One of the parents, honestly.
It could be the parent we didn't even meet that sold her son's soul.
Jeez, yeah.
I don't even know how to pronounce his name. I heard it in the thing.
It's an M word.
Yeah, Marinius. Oh man, I heard her say it so many times. Oh, where's he at? Oh, there's Miriam. Oh, Mernatius.
Mernatius, sure.
Mernatius? That sounds like more right. Mernatius. Sure, we'll go with that.
Mernatius.
I felt bad for him.
I felt bad for him too. But he was ready to feed her to his demon inside him, but like he didn't choose the demon.
Yeah, it took them a while because at first I thought he was like this spoiled brat who traded his life for power, and it took them a while to reveal that his mom did it.
Yeah.
So I didn't really like have sympathy for him until a while later. But I am glad Arena claimed him.
Yes, as like one of her own that he had to leave alone.
Yeah.
I would still think I probably would pick Irina as my favorite because I do think that like
it was just that one when she took him to the Stark realm. I was like, Irina. I was like, y'all can find a better way.
And she was just like trying to she was still trying to save her people.
Yeah,
that's all she really cared about was saving her people. And even like I guess she ended the book being the Tsarina still.
Yeah.
Because for a second she was planning on offing the Tsar and becoming princess.
Yeah, I think he lives too.
Yeah.
So I think they don't really say.
No.
Yeah. You know I love that. You know I love that.
I know you
do. Okay, so kind of going back to the beginning. It was kind of like... It was interesting.
Yeah.
That... And I think this is where you get into... I think it's very... Like, for a one-off fantasy series, this is good. But... I think I just missed the detail. I guess because you can't make it a 1,000-page book.
Like you didn't really get a lot of like the star. You would have again if this was like a 5-series book, you'd get like more detail like the star.
Yes, and like the history, and because it's kind of like why are they coming and pillaging, plundering her over here? I mean, like it kind of alludes to it, but
I didn't fully understand at the end either. When they were like, oh, the gold is captured sunlight, which helps keep our world frozen. I didn't understand.
And there's a crack in the mountain that she like. I needed a visual.
I needed a visual. I was really struggling with that part because I was like...
Because that's why he wants her to turn it to gold.
It's to help keep it frozen. But he doesn't... And that's why it's been staying frozen longer outside. But he doesn't need that because she ended up using the gold to heal the mountain and the frozen river.
It was a whole thing.
a little over my head.
Oh, yeah.
I think that this would do really well in like an AP Lit class. Like, you could dissect the hell out of this.
Yes.
And there's probably some really pretty imagery in here.
Yeah.
That is lost on me.
Oh, the whole book. I texted you this. I was like, am I supposed to be reading more into this? I was like, I must not be that deep. I just, or like for this book, it's just going, because I'm like, I am not picking it up. What you're putting down, I'm not picking it up.
Yeah.
And
I will say, I did like, I thought it was really interesting, like, there was a lot of imagery around, like, Jewish people. And, like a lot of, it's not racism, what would it be? Anti-Semitism.
Yeah.
Yes. Which I thought was, like, really sad, but, like, I think if this came from, like, Poland, like, that's a big space for, like...
part of her life.
Yeah. But it's also, like, those, I think it played into a lot of, like, the money lending piece. Like, there's all those, like, stereotypes and things like that they were having to battle on top of that.
Yeah.
I thought that was really interesting. That was, like, the closest I came to, like...
A deeper meaning. Yeah, but that was more, like, even explicit, because they talked about it a lot. Yeah, I was like...
She's like, Chrissy, it's not that deep, because they said it out
loud. Well, no, but it was, like, it had deeper meaning, but it was something that it was, like, referenced more, like, directly.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. It was good.
Yeah.
It was always interesting, I'm like, that... it was just so funny how he ended up, like, taking her away. Because he was just like, yep, if you do this 3 times, you're mine. But I feel like he definitely thought
she'd fail.
Yeah.
He thought she'd fail.
And he's like, crap.
You have to be my queen.
You have to be my queen.
Which would be a great start to Enemy to Lovers.
Yeah, and they kind of were, but like, it didn't do it for me. I liked
to really get to know him.
Yeah, that's the thing. And you didn't really they had interaction, and you kind of got to know him, but it's
like, in the end, she saved his people, and like that earned her respect.
Yeah.
And so then maybe you can like imagine, which I know you hate imagining after the pages, that they like.
You know why I hate imagining after the pages?
I know.
Is because like what'll happen is 10 years later, an author will be like, oh well, this is what in my mind this is what happens, and then it's not what I think's what happens, and I'm like. You should have just not even said anything. You should have just not said anything.
Yeah, left it to the imagination.
Yeah, you should have left it. If you're not going to leave it to my imagination, don't say something. It's like when J.K. Rowling was like, oh, Harry and Hermione should have been together. I'm like, don't even say it. I'm like,
don't negate like what you've written.
Exactly. Like, if you're going to leave it up to my imagination that, like, obviously kind of goes in this direction, don't... like 20 years later be like, oh well, I should have done this.
Yeah.
I'm like, just don't do that. I just that kind of stuff annoys me.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
I get riled up. I'm just like, if it's what you mean, write it. Anyway, I digress.
So the ending, we can talk about the ending in general then.
Talk about not knowing this guy. Not getting his name frustrated me.
But
I get
names are so important to them.
I know.
And it's a big deal that he gave her his name, which I feel like was like the...
Oh yeah, I'm glad she got it. If she hadn't gotten it, I would have been like hella pissed.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I want to know his name.
I want to know his name.
Let
me be part of this.
Yeah, like, let me be part of this. Yeah. Like, I'm not evil. Let me know his name. But I am, it was nice that they had that little
witch cottage.
I'm glad that her parents, like, basically adopted.
That's the only time I teared up in this book.
Oh, yeah.
Is when they changed from calling him whatever, Paul, I don't know.
Panova.
Panova and Panov.
Yeah.
To Papa and Mama. I was like...
That was sweet.
That got me.
Yeah.
That got me.
I think their storyline was very nice.
Yeah.
And precious.
It was wrapped up.
Mm-hmm. It did.
Yeah.
It was fun.
And then I also did like the little servants that she met in the ice.
The ones that like Oh yeah, to me the supporting characters were way better. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they like traded. They like she gave her a gift or whatever, and that was like a whole thing.
Yeah.
And
they were bound to her.
Like they're bond.
She really realized
people. Well, he wouldn't tell her anything. She's like, I don't know anything.
You can ask me 3 questions.
Yeah, she's like, how am I supposed to know anything?
Yeah.
I like them and the little girl that she like gave her
a name to.
Yeah, that was precious.
That was cute.
Yeah, I mean there were parts of this book that I liked. I think it was more of
how slow it was at the beginning.
It really is.
Yeah.
It's how slow it was at the beginning because by the end of it I was reading it and I was like, oh, okay, I want to see like what happens.
Yeah.
And like I liked how it ended and I like how it wrapped up, even though we didn't get his name, but I like it. But it was just the beginning was so slow, and I'm like, and I'm not somebody who won't finish a book.
Yeah.
But I know that those people exist.
And they probably would have given up.
They probably would have given up. Like if I was one, like somebody who's like, no, I'm just not gonna read this.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I'm invested at this point.
And it's a book club book, so we have
yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. It's a book club book.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, we went off the recommendation of a stranger. And it didn't work out for the best for me, but it wasn't horrible. It could have been worse.
Yeah. It just reminds you that not everyone reads the same.
That's true. Yeah. Obviously critically acclaimed books are not for me. Maybe not all of them. Maybe just, I don't know. Maybe just fantasy one-offs aren't for me.
And there aren't that many, probably for a reason, too.
Yeah. I think that definitely...
That like has something to do with it.
That has something to do with it.
Yeah.
It's just like, I'm so used to so much detail.
And so much payoff.
So much payoff. Mm-hmm. But
that's fair.
Anyway, go read Spinning Silver. It's good.
It's good.
It's good despite what I've just said.
It's worth a read. You can say that. Probably.
Yeah. If you get through the first 50 to 100 pages.
If you ever have to do a book report on a random book, choose this for sure.
You could write the heck out of a book report out of that book.
Anyone in high school out there? This is your book.
For real.
This is your book.
Oh man, there's a lot of stuff to draw from.
So much stuff.
Sweet.
All right.
Well, cheers to not that awful fire demon who was creepy.
Let's cheers. What were their names? I want to share. Oh, we could her name was Rebecca, the little one.
Oh, the little one was
cheers
Rebecca.
To Rebecca.
Cheers to Rebecca.
Cheers.
Nice.
Did you already finish it?
I did.
I was like halfway.
I had to just, you gotta sip it fast.
Chug it down.
Mm-hmm.
Bye.
Bye.